Hey, Robert.
Yo, it's shaking AC.
My brain is shaken.
Yeah, I know your brain is shaking. We just talked about this yesterday, right?
Yeah, exactly. I just got back from 2 days away with a whole bunch of awesome, amazing strategic thinking CEOs and COOs and CFOs and all the COO things or C things, C-suite people who are concerned with continuing to level up and using AI to do that. And it was just an incredible opportunity, but the brain just gets like unlocked and that like yeah, things are moving in there and shaking.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to get on this rant with you because, I've always been griping about the pixie dust of AI,
Hmm.
Everyone's sprinkling around, oh, you need to have AI in your business and use AI and use all this sort of stuff, but ultimately like AI is a large language model based on information off the internet. 60% of it statistically is incorrect. So really the results you could get have a high probability of being incorrect, and they're using it in my opinion for things that don't really matter. Like they're using it for the 80% of Wilfredo Pareto's 80/20 principle. The stuff that actually doesn't bring you growth or strategy or revenue. It's just sort of expediting or keeping things moving faster when it comes to tasks like writing SEO blog posts or writing a job posting that you'd put online or trying to help you just with your day-to-day tasks. But beyond that, assuming you've trained your artificial intelligence appropriately, you can use it for that 20%, the 20% that actually brings the 80% of revenue. And use it for strategic thinking and use it for things we were talking about this. I said, you know, can AI do like EOS stuff? You know, Absolutely it can. And EOS is known as being something that's a strategic component of creating and growing your business. And from my understanding, this is what you got involved in at your offsite. So I'd love to hear about some of the things you learned.
Well, I first have to touch base on something because then that's what the fun of these rants are because we sometimes have slightly different opinions. All right. I think that the people that are using it for the 80% should keep using it for that if they need to, if it's making them move faster in what they're doing, or if they're not a great writer and they need help with writing. I think that's not a bad thing. I just think they're missing out on what else they could be.
I agree with you. They should keep using it. I'm just saying that's like child's play when it comes to AI. That's like status
Yeah.
quo table stakes.
Well, for me, when I first saw what AI can do, a year and a half ago, I guess it was, I thought it was really cool, but it didn't get its hook in me because I think for one thing, I didn't understand the training aspect when you have, the paid, and I've had a paid account since then, but I don't think I understood that how much it like retains and you can train it. So that's one thing. But I also just found that I like writing my emails the way I sound. I don't need like, I didn't, and I'm not a person in my company that writes SOPs and all these things I was seeing. I was like, great, awesome. I hope my team's, going to use it for those things. But it wasn't to me. It wasn't getting its hook in me, and that might sound kind of silly. Until though I learned about how you can use it for strategic thinking and problem solving, that's when I started to go, oh, this is more my world, what I want to be using it for, and even accountability to the things that I'm needing to do to move the needle in my company. So
Yeah.
that's where, yeah. So the I think the 80%. I mean, I think those things are super important, and I want to learn more about what I could be using it for in the realm of just fast tracking things and being more accurate and stuff like that. But where I really am getting excited is its ability to unlock my strategic thinking. So this collective I was at, it's called the AI Driven Leadership Collective, and 100 people there, all CEOs and people that are concerned with staying innovative, having strong competitive advantages, and 10xing. Like I don't want to just 2x or 3x. So if you want to 10x, this is one of the things you need to get on board with, and learn how to use.
Okay.
Okay, so you want
Good
me to teach
story.
you
So
some things?
so tell me something.
Okay, I'll teach you some things. These are just little things. These are just little things I learned. I'll throw in a couple. This is kind of random, but um, for example, I like to use it to help me with problem solving. So, well, first of all, even back up even further. So Jeff Woods, the person that wrote the book that this whole collective is based on, came up with a framework called the framework, where it's context, role, interview, task. So giving it enough context, telling it what its role is, not just you're a sales manager, but you're a no BS, high performing, more context or more description of the role. Interview me one question at a time until you have enough information to, and then give it the task. I've been having a lot of fun with that, especially that interview piece. So if I'm using that, what I learned recently, maybe lots of people already know this and I'm just behind, but you can flip it from, if you're using ChatGPT as your LLM, you can flip it from the model 4.0 to O3, which is the abstract reasoning model. Go in there because that is going to then allow it to act more like a human, and that's where you can say, like, I'm trying to figure out, maybe you've got a team member who you're trying to understand whether they are in line with your core values. Here's a use case. So you can give it the context. That's what I'm trying to figure out. There's this one team member that something seems off. I'm not sure what's going on. And so here, and then upload the core values. Here are our core values. You act as a, executive coach specializing in culture, around core values. Interview me one question at a time until you have enough information to understand what I think is the problem and what I'm seeing. And then rate this person on each core value out of 10 with a description of why you said what you said. And then you could upload transcripts of calls with that person. And so you upload the core values, upload the transcripts, give it that prompt all in one, hit go, and it'll come back with, well, this person is scores here for this. And like, oh, now I have some objective data I could use,
Yeah.
to help that person see this is, or just take it to the person without showing them and just this is what I'm seeing. So that deeper thinking and problem solving is where I think people, especially in leadership positions, we often get roadblocked and slow down,
Yeah.
right? We need help with that, thinking it through. I just need to soundboard this. Well, now you can do that with your like a custom GPT or however you want to do that.
Yeah, and like AI is generative, so it's trying to take everything it's learned and generate a result, right? But sometimes you don't want it to generate a result. You just want it to do some legwork, like do some research for you, right?
Yeah.
With like references, right? So there's another feature that you learned about that allows that.
Yeah. Yeah, the deep research function. So in the prompt, again, we're talking ChatGPT as far as that, if that's the LLM you use, and it's got deep research. So you turn it on, and now it's going to, instead of trying to be fast for you and give you kind of high level, it's going to go deep. It's going to take 10, 20, whatever minutes, and you're going to see like where it's kind of going and finding information. And then it's going to come back with this massive report with citing where it got the information from, and it's a lot more trustworthy. Now, may still mess up, so if that, you might have to question it and look for gaps, usually, or not, I shouldn't say usually, but sometimes it'll tell you, I couldn't get enough information about this, but this is what it looks like. So yeah, those are just two examples of functions I learned, but also some awesome use cases. And just, it's amazing how once you see other people, just like with franchisees, we say, when they see other franchisees doing things, they're more motivated than us telling them. It's kind of like that when you see peers using it in a certain way. It's like, oh my gosh, I can do this too.
Cool. That's awesome. Well, I have a million other questions about AI as well as how to fix some problems I'm having with AI. I get
Now
enough
that I'm the
arguments.
AI expert, right?
Yeah, now that you're the AI expert. Yeah, me and AI, we argue. I'm like, I can't believe you just told me this. And she's
Yeah.
like, bring it on.
Yeah.
Anyways, we should wrap it up.
Okay. Well, hopefully that some people got some good value out of that, but I'm ready to wrap it up. We're going to count us down.
Yep.
Okay.
Three,
3,
two,
2,
one.
1.
Oh,
Go
be
be awesome.
awesome.